In 1935, a British factory worker wanted a chocolate bar that fit in his lunchbox. 90 years later, Japan has secretly released over 400 flavors of it. Here's every Kit Kat flavor explained. Original Milk Chocolate Kit Kat. Born in York, England in 1935, this bar wasn't even called Kit Kat at first. The original name was Rowntree's Chocolate Crisp, renamed in 1937. Here's the weird part. The cream filling between the wafers is partially made from crushed up Kit Kats rejected on the factory line. So every fresh Kit Kat you eat has bits of its own ancestors baked inside it. The bar even survived World War II. Britain's milk shortage forced a switch to dark chocolate in 1942, wrapper turning blue until 1947. That humble lunchbox idea was about to explode into something nobody could have predicted: Kit Kat Chunky. In 1999, Nestlé broke Kit Kat's most sacred rule and killed the four-finger format. The Chunky launched as one single fat finger for adult snackers, and it nearly bombed. British fans hated losing the satisfying snap. Then in 2012, Nestlé ran a contest called Choose a Chunky Champion. 4 new flavors went head-to-head, and peanut butter crushed it with 47% of the vote, earning a permanent spot. Today, the Chunky sells in Japan, Canada, Australia, and the US under the name Big Cat. Hershey owns the US rights under a deal so airtight, not even Nestlé can break it. And that cracked the door open for something much bigger: Kit Kat Orange. Before 1996, every Kit Kat on the planet tasted the same. Then, 61 years into the brand's life, Nestlé released the orange version in the UK, the first new flavor Kit Kat had ever made. Here's the secret nobody mentions. Kit Kat Orange is the reason every weird Japanese flavor exists today. Once Nestlé saw one tiny tweak could double sales, the floodgates opened. Without that 1996 orange bar, there's no matcha, no wasabi, no sake. That bar turned out to be even more important than it looked: Kit Kat White. The white Kit Kat looks simple: standard wafer, white chocolate instead of milk. But that white shell is secretly the most important canvas in chocolate history. Every bizarre Japanese flavor you've heard of, matcha, sake, wasabi, cheese, soy sauce, is built on white chocolate because it has no cocoa solids, so it doesn't fight whatever flavor gets added. It's a blank page. Nestlé itself invented the world's first commercial white chocolate bar back in 1930, a Swiss bar called Galac. White Kit Kat looks boring on a shelf. Take it away, and the entire Japanese flavor revolution collapses. Kit Kat Dark. Ask anyone when the first dark Kit Kat came out, they'll guess the 2000s. Wrong. It showed up in 1942 in the middle of World War II, and it wasn't a marketing decision. Britain's milk shortage forced Rowntree to switch to dark chocolate, wrapper turning blue until 1947. The dark version then got buried for over 60 years. That version came back only in the UK in 2006. Here's the part that breaks everyone's brain. The US Dark Kit Kat and the UK Dark Kit Kat taste completely different. CNN confirmed it in 2023 because Hershey makes Kit Kat in America under a near-permanent license, making them technically 2 different chocolates. But things get properly wild once we land in Japan. Matcha Green Tea Kit Kat. This is the flavor that broke the rules. In 2004, Nestlé Japan released a white chocolate Kit Kat infused with real Uji matcha powder from Kyoto. It became one of their best-selling Kit Kats ever, and it triggered an avalanche. Over the next 20 years, more than 400 Japanese flavors followed it. Wasabi, sake, soy sauce, cheese, sweet potato, all of them exist because matcha proved fans wanted something weird. The deeper secret: the Kyoto version uses tea picked by Itokuemon, one of Japan's oldest tea houses. Nestlé also created a line called Otona no Amasa, adult sweetness, a lower sugar version made because Japanese fans thought Western chocolate was too sweet. But Japan's first regional Kit Kat actually beat matcha to the punch: Strawberry Kit Kat. Before the matcha explosion, Nestlé Japan ran a quieter experiment in Hokkaido, a strawberry Kit Kat made with local fruit. Hokkaido is famous for its strawberries, and this regional version turned into a souvenir overnight. Tourists started buying boxes as gifts, a tradition called omiyage, where you bring back regional food as proof you visited. It accidentally invented the entire regional Kit Kat playbook. Today there's a Fukuoka version made with Amau strawberries, the king of Japanese strawberries. Strawberry is one of the top 2 Japanese flavors by sales, second only to matcha. Then the West decided Japan had officially lost its mind. Wasabi Kit Kat. In the late 2000s, Nestlé Japan released a regional Kit Kat sold only in Shizuoka, Japan's wasabi capital. White chocolate infused with real wasabi powder from a brand called Tamaruya. The bar comes out faintly green. When Western YouTubers got their hands on these, taste test videos went viral. Everyone expected the wasabi to torch their tongue. It doesn't. The taste is shockingly mellow, sweet, and floral, with just a tiny tingle at the back of your throat. The point was never extreme flavor. It was bragging rights. You can only buy it in Shizuoka. That same confusion got cranked up even further. Soy Sauce Kit Kat. In 2010, Nestlé Japan released a soy sauce Kit Kat sold only in Tokyo, and the internet lost its mind. White chocolate mixed with soy sauce powder sounds like a kitchen disaster. Instead, taste testers reported they couldn't really taste the soy sauce at all, just white chocolate with a faint caramel edge. The science is real. Mix soy sauce with sugar and white chocolate, and you get a reaction close to caramel, the same trick behind salted caramel desserts. Some buyers in Japan complained it didn't have enough kick. But Nestlé Japan revealed something wild. In 2010, this was the best-selling limited edition flavor of the entire year. The reason wasn't taste. It was pure curiosity. What came next, Japan considers genuinely luxurious. Hokkaido Melon and Mascarpone Cheese Kit Kat. In Japan, Yubari melons aren't normal fruit. A single pair can sell for over $5,000 at auction. They're the Lamborghinis of cantaloupes. So when Nestlé Japan paired melon flavor with mascarpone cheese for a regional Hokkaido Kit Kat, it wasn't a joke. It was a luxury souvenir, built to taste like a Japanese dessert called melon parfait. Western reviewers couldn't believe how well the chocolate copied real cantaloupe. Here's why it works. Japanese cafes have served melon parfaits with mascarpone for decades. It's not bizarre in Japan. It's classic dessert culture in a wrapper, and it only gets weirder from here. Purple sweet potato Kit Kat. Okinawa grows a vegetable called beni imo, purple sweet potato, and it's dyed into everything down there: ice cream, donuts, and mochi. So Nestlé Japan made a Kit Kat that's literally pink purple, from real beni imo powder mixed into white chocolate. Creamy, earthy, lightly nutty, with a vanilla sweet finish, nothing like American chocolate. But here's the deeper story. After the 2016 Kumamoto earthquake hit the region hard, Nestlé released a charity Kit Kat called Ikinari Dango, sweet potato, and azuki bean, with 10 yen from every bag going to rebuilding efforts. Packaging featuring Kumamen, the region's bear mascot. That's Kit Kat funding disaster relief through chocolate. Next, things get a lot more sacred. Hojicha Kit Kat. Hojicha is roasted green tea, the same leaves as matcha, but roasted over high heat until they turn brown and smoky, so it tastes like caramel and toasted nuts instead of grass. Nestlé Japan turned this into a regional Kyoto Kit Kat in the 2000s, using the same Itokyuemon tea, and Western food bloggers fell for it fast, calling it the grown-up alternative to matcha for fans who find it too bitter. It even got its own lower sugar Otona no Amasa version, made after Japanese fans said Western chocolate tastes too sweet. What's coming is tied to a ritual older than the brand itself. Sakura Kit Kat. Every spring in Japan, cherry blossoms bloom, and the country celebrates with hanami, families sitting under blooming trees, eating, watching petals fall. Nestlé Japan releases a special Sakura Kit Kat every year to ride that wave. White chocolate infused with cherry blossom, sometimes layered with matcha, sometimes mixed with sake. The packaging features pink petals and limited art that collectors hoard. Think of it as Japan's answer to the Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. But there's a version most fans don't know about. The Sakura Sake Kit Kat actually contains real alcohol, around 0.4 to 0.8%, with a legal warning that minors shouldn't eat it. What's next carries something far heavier than alcohol. Edamame Zunda Kit Kat. In March 2011, Japan suffered the Great East Japan Earthquake. The tsunami killed over 19,000 people and destroyed entire towns across the Tohoku region. Nestlé Japan responded with a Kit Kat called Edamame Zunda, a Sendai specialty made from young green soybeans mashed into a sweet paste, donating 10 yen from every bag sold to disaster relief. The meaning was unmistakable to every Japanese person who saw it. The words Kit Kat sound nearly identical to kitokatsu in Japanese, which translates to "you will surely win." Nestlé used that exact phrase as a message of hope to a region in ruins. You will surely win. You will rebuild. Almost nobody outside Japan knows Kit Kat has a quiet disaster relief tradition. The next one went viral for a completely different reason. Cough Drop Kit Kat. In August 2017, Nestlé Japan released what might be the single weirdest Kit Kat ever made, a white chocolate bar kneaded with real throat lozenge powder. Basically, a cough drop turned into candy. It tasted like menthol, honey, and lemon. You could only buy it for 3 weeks, August 21st through September 10th, 2017. A lot of major news stations covered it, but the real trick was smarter than the cough drop gimmick. The release was timed to 2 of Japan's World Cup qualifying matches, with packaging featuring commentator Yasutaro Matsuki and a slogan that doubled as a kitokatsu pun about winning. Next up, the Kit Kat Japan actually drinks. Sake Kit Kat. In February 2016, Nestlé Japan released a Sake Kit Kat for foreign tourists. White chocolate infused with sake powder, around 0.8% alcohol. Good, but not legendary. The real version landed in September 2017, when Nestlé partnered with retired football star Hidetoshi Nakata, who became one of Japan's top sake experts and runs his own sake brand called N. He personally tasted sake from over 100 breweries before picking Masuizumi, founded in 1893 in Toyama. The results sold in red gift boxes, built to look like wrapped sake bottles. Because it has real alcohol in it, it can't legally be sold to minors in Japan, and many export channels won't ship it at all. A footballer turned sommelier, turning Kit Kats into age-restricted luxury. Even sake gets dwarfed by what's coming. Kit Kat Sublime Gold. In late December 2015, Nestlé Japan unveiled their flagship luxury release, the Kit Kat Sublime Gold, a single-finger hand-wrapped in real 24-karat edible gold leaf, sold only through Kit Kat chocolatory boutiques in Tokyo. Just 500 bars total, each priced at 2,016 yen, roughly $16 US, a deliberate wink at the year 2016. Nestlé spokeswoman Melanie Coley told reporters, "We have made it a luxury product, not like you probably remember from your childhood. The gold leaf does absolutely nothing for you nutritionally. It passes straight through your body and does nothing at all. It's edible jewelry, sold for New Year gift giving in Japan, called Osebo. Next on the list, the Kit Kat that changed chocolate itself, Kit Kat Sublime Ruby. On January 19, 2018, Nestlé Japan and Nestlé Korea released the world's first product made with ruby chocolate. Until 2017, only 3 types of chocolate existed: dark, milk, and white. Then, Swiss-Belgian chocolate maker Barry Callebaut revealed a 4th type in Shanghai in September 2017. Ruby chocolate, naturally pink, tasting like fresh berries with no added fruit or coloring. That color and flavor come entirely from special ruby cocoa beans, through a process Barry Callebaut spent over a decade developing and still keeps as a trade secret. Kit Kat got the first commercial release in the world just 5 months after the reveal. Nestlé reported the bars sold out within 30 minutes every day for the first week through their chocolatory boutiques. By the end of 2018, Ruby Kit Kat made up 30% of all chocolatory sales in Japan. By 2019, it was selling in 26 countries. Starbucks launched a Ruby Flamingo Frappuccino. Magnum made Ruby ice cream bars. Kit Kat didn't just sell Ruby chocolate, it introduced Ruby chocolate to the entire world. From a 1935 lunchbox bar to the world's first Ruby chocolate, Kit Kat didn't just sell chocolate, it changed it. Subscribe for next week's breakdown and check out the video on screen now. Thanks for being here.